So you got a deal under contract, but you don't know how to find a buyer and you want to make money and you're kind of nervous because you got like 7 days, 4 days, whatever left in your due diligence period. Right here, I got a video breaking down how I use batch leads step by step to get a deal with my man, Sean Young. He's on there too. So check out this video and give me a like to this video if you find this information helpful. Check it out. All right, so you're just going to get a good idea of what the process looks like. So I got this lead from a buddy of mine. He's like, look, the house has tons of liens. It's $1 million property and up. Like it's pretty expensive, right? So you really narrow down your buyer pool to like who's willing to do luxury flips. So we're going to have to find an agent that represents luxury flippers or in that sector, like in that realm, right? You're not going to be able to deal with an agent that's never listed $1 million property or doesn't really deal with those type of people and be able to find that buyer. So that's kind of the goal. Now, there's something funky about this property. All right, let's look at it. So it's right here. If everyone can see, it's a $2.5 million property. Now, Sean, I know you can't see extremely well, but the problem here with this deal is there's a $2.5 million home in a residential, normal, like middle-class neighborhood. So the issue that we have here, you probably already know what I'm going to say. What's the issue with having the nicest, biggest, most expensive house in the neighborhood that's just middle class? Comps, right? That's the problem. So we're in a state where I'm not a real estate agent, so I don't have access to MLS, but I can already see, look, batch is in most services are going to, struggle. They're going to struggle to find out the ARV of this thing because it's a weird property. And Sean, when I was brand new to wholesaling, this happened a lot. I'd get deals that were the most expensive house in the neighborhood and they'd be like, oh, can you help me out? And they'd want a lot or just maybe even a discount, but they were still way off. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Nobody wants to buy $1 million home and your neighbors are all just middle, little smaller homes. It's going to be hard to resell that.
100%.
So you definitely don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this property. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to go to details. All right. We're going to check this thing out. It said that its estimated value is $3 million. Okay. That's what the estimated value is at the moment. I have the contract right now for, I think the price that we have it under contract for is like 1.3. Okay. So this is saying it's worth 3 million. That might be true if it was in a neighborhood that was like, more prevalent, right? But it's just in the middle of nowhere. Well, not middle of nowhere, but in the middle of a neighborhood that's not. I can see because of batch that they canceled their listing on the MLS. They listed it for $3 million on the MLS. So they tried to get a lot of money. Nobody was biting on this thing, right? That's the issue. So that's why how my friend got this lead. He knew the guy listed it. He didn't want to he couldn't find anyone to make offers that he liked. So he's now going to a cash offer. And my buddy, I told him, he does it the painless way too. I said, hey, bro, tell him that you're not buying, just so you're going to help him find a buyer, cash buyer. And so the guy knows. He's given us a 3 months due diligence period, which is crazy. But what we do now is we just look for people to make offers. So now when I call agents, I'm going to say, hey, do you have any buyers that are interested? And if they're like, maybe, I'd be like, just make us an offer because the seller's pretty dang motivated. And that's where we're navigating this. Now, you got to make sure that the seller is realistic too. You don't want to do this for a seller and just say, hey, let me go find people that will buy this. If their just heads are in the clouds, it's going to be a complete waste of your time. But if they're motivated, if there's anything that's causing them to go, then it's a good idea, right?
100%.
So you can see that it was listed by Jeremy Back, and he just canceled it a couple months ago. Distress indicators, active pre-foreclosure, and it's got property liens. So my title escrow officer I talked to, she's like, man, this has got a lot of issues that we're gonna have to clean up. So on top of paying the price he wants, you're gonna have to get him out of pre-foreclosure. This is gonna be an interesting one, brother.
Indeed.
So one thing I'd like to do is you just go right here to comparables. We're going to go to comparables right here, and we're going to see if Batch has got anything for us on the comparables. Again, it's going to be kind of tricky because this is in an area that doesn't have a lot of So this, as you can see right here, Batch does a radius of 25 miles. There's not a comp within 5 miles according to what we have just off of the information here. So that's not good for this house. Whoever built this house on the hill, bad move, right?
Bad move,
bro. You shouldn't have done it. Yeah, so there's some comps out here. So this one that was similar, this is a very big house, 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. Bruh, this says the square feet is 15,000 square feet.
Wow.
There's going to be hard to find some comps of that. 15,000 square feet, that's nuts. That sounds a little ridiculous, to be honest. The other one that sold earlier this year, according to Batch, sold for $4.4 million. Okay, so that's a comp, but you're comparing it to the house here that was in a nicer neighborhood, right? And probably a gated community. This other one, it's not. So very, very interesting. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to see, you can do two things. Batch has this new thing that lets you do agent outreach and pull agents in the area. So you could say, okay, what agents in this area of St. George represent buyers, have listed homes in this like specific price range. You could do that, or you could just filter, do a property search, and you could look for homes that are listed and then call agents that are listing expensive homes. Now, the reason why I took this lead is because it is pretty discounted, but it's going to be a tricky one. And the guy is motivated. I mean, he's in pre-foreclosure, so he's going to have to take something or he's going to get credit ruined. So that's the reason why you would take a situation like this where it's funky, right? Sean, would you pass this one on? Tell me the truth.
There is, I mean, there's definitely motivation, which means that there's definitely something that could be done because of the motivation, of course. So this is a situation based upon the length of time that you guys have, the 90 days, basically. I would take it on because within 90 days, I figured we could figure something out. Probably way sooner than 90 days. We'll know sooner than later if this is something that we could actually solve this guy's problem with.
Okay. No, agreed. Now, again, if there's no issue, if there's no motivation, I'm out because there's no reason. I'm not going to try and do all this work to find a buyer. And then the guy's like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm just going to stay here.
Exactly.
I'm going to do all that. So what we do is you go to boundary here and we want to make a boundary in this area. And we want to see what's listed around this area at the moment. And what you're going to do is you're going to see it here on the right-hand side once it loads. Okay, so let's see. 1540 Stonecliff Drive. It's currently for sale. So that'd be a good one to call. So I'm immediately I'm getting higher price homes. So in this area, there are properties that are selling for quite a bit, but the one that we have is just so crazy. It's so big and it's so weird, right? So what I would do, guys, is I would call one of these agents right here by just clicking on here. Click on the property that's listed currently and go to details. So what I would do is I would call, as you guys can see, these pictures are kind of dope. It's a nice house. Let's see. I would go here to MLS and I would go to where it has the listing agent's information right here under Michelle Evans. You want me to call her, bro?
Call her.
Let's see if she's got something for me. Let's give her a call. Another thing that I will say before I call, this could be the number of the brokerage, and I don't want to call the brokerage. I want to call her cell phone. So if I don't find it here, I'm just going to Google search her. So 435, let's see if this is her. So it says Michelle. But again, if this is the brokerage, I'm going to Google search her because most agents have their phone numbers directly online if you just search it. And I have a 404 number. I'm calling a 435 in Utah. I grew up in Georgia. Sometimes they don't answer my phone because they might think I'm spam. So I call 2-3 times sometimes.
Either they're out to lunch or she's super busy.
Hello, Michelle Evans with Keller Williams Real.
Nah, dude, she didn't answer because she thought it was spam. She'll answer this one, guaranteed, bro.
Come on.
But man, it's the one thing I dislike about calling is people don't answer, bro. I'm like, look, I got something to say, and I'll be quick about it. Let's go.
Indeed.
But that's why CRMs are important, man, because you got to put the information in. You got to throw them in a drip. Maybe a text will get them.
Hello, this is Michelle Evans.
Okay,
with
so
Keller
I'll leave a
Realty.
voicemail.
Please
I'll
leave
let
me
you
a
know what the
message
voicemail
I'll
sounds
get
like,
back
and
with
I
you
would send her a
as fast
text.
as I can.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing? My name's Nathan. I saw that you have a listing right now in St. George and that you list properties in the area, and I just have a quick question about it. So please give me a call back. Thanks. Bye. Vague. I don't want to be like, hey, my name's Nathan. I'm looking for a buyer. I can explain that. And then I'll send her a quick text message. So the goal here, the conversation would look like this. Hey, Michelle. What's going on? My name's Nathan. I actually noticed that you list a lot of properties in St. George. Do you focus mainly on luxury or do you focus on, mid to low class, whatever? And then if she's like, no, I do. I focus a lot on luxury. I'd say, great. Look, I just have a quick question. I noticed that you had a listing. I have one that's pretty close to that. I'm helping out a friend. They had it listed. No one bought it. I was wondering if you represent or any cash buyers. The reason why I didn't sell is because, it needs to get flipped and it needs work. Do you know any high level, any cash buyers that buy in St. George? That's it. Now, if she's like, well, are you a wholesaler? I'll be like, yeah, I'm not just a wholesaler. I fix and flip, I buy, but this one doesn't meet my criteria. So I'm trying to help my friend out and see if there's a buyer, that I can bring. And I'd be willing to pay you a commission for me to bring one. Simple as that. She doesn't want to work with me. Forget her. There's 10, 15, maybe 20 more listings that are there, and then I can also pull the directory and call the agents that represent what is it called? Higher tier homes, whatever.
Yeah.
Higher price. Cool, Sean. So anything you want to add to that? Anything you want to say that maybe people are thinking, they're like, oh, maybe I need to go over better?
No, you did a great job, man. You covered it very well. That's exactly how you want to do it. And you don't want to, again, like, I know that for the purpose of this exercise, we've called, just Michelle, but guys, you don't want to stop there. If Michelle doesn't answer, you guys got to call somebody else,
Right.
call another until you get somebody so you can get some information on this property, because you want to do things now. You don't want to wait for things to happen.
Definitely want to keep calling, because the thing is, like, you need to get information. Like I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I would say I'm a very skilled investor. I know how to run comps and all that stuff. This is a weird property that you need an expert on the ground that can help you with. That's the key. So if you talk to an agent that's been like, dude, I've been there for like being an agent for 20 years. This house ain't selling for less than 900,000. That's good information for me, because then I can go up to the seller and say, hey, look, this is what we're up against. How much do you owe on this property? And, because you're gonna have to take less. It's a different conversation than me just keep on looking, not talking to people, and just, forcing it. Information will help you get a deal done way faster than just, beating your head against the wall.
100%. And again, it's arming us with data. That was the key point there. We don't have to go back and hard, like lowball them because we just want to. Hey, I thought it. No, we're going back with data. Hey, listen, I've done a lot of research here in the area. This property is in a peculiar spot. It's a little different than other properties that have sold, that are similar sizes, based on the community. So this is what we're up against. This is what we've got. Boom. And it's data. It's information. It's not your opinion. We're really showing them what we're really up against. And that will help, like Nathan said, with the negotiation of bringing that price down potentially.
100%, brother. If you find the information helpful, subscribe to the channel and share this for me. Thanks.